This is Kite Cutter TV with another presentation. We gotta talk about this. Okay, guys, Governor Andrew Cuomo is such a nice guy that he wants to give illegal aliens the coronavirus vaccination first. In a tweet yesterday, he wrote, "The communities hit hardest by COVID can't be the last to get a vaccine. It would be so unfair and discriminatory." Today, I'm sending a letter with advocates urging the government to support undeserved communities and protections for undocumented immigrants in vaccine distribution. CBS News article reads, New York Governor Andrew Cuomo is urging the federal government to support undeserved communities and protect undocumented immigrants as the administration begins to roll out plans to distribute a coronavirus vaccine. Cuomo and a coalition of groups wrote a letter to Health and Human Services Secretary Alex Azar calling for a fair and equal vaccination program that reaches these communities. The federal government's current plan to vaccinate Americans neglect key priorities that we need to effectively distribute the vaccine to millions of New Yorkers, Cuomo said in a statement. We need to focus on Black, Brown, Asian, and low-income communities that are historically underserved by the healthcare institutions that are key to the federal government's plan. I see nothing here about white people. This is straight up liberal white guilt. Cuomo said the federal program requires states to collect and share personal information for those taking the vaccine, which could be shared with federal agencies like the Department of Homeland Security and U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement. This could dissuade undocumented immigrants from taking the vaccine, he argued. Man, this is so ridiculous and so typical of these liberals. Check this out.
This is going to be especially difficult to administer to Black, brown, and poor communities. Just like we went through with the COVID test, they're underserved by healthcare facilities, and their rate of skepticism is higher. It's going to be an extensive effort to outreach to Black, brown, and poor communities. You're going to have to partner with Black churches. You're going to have to go into public housing projects. You're going to have to run public information campaigns. We just went through this with the COVID tests. There's no such provision in the federal program. I believe that is discrimination, either by intent or by effect, and I believe it's illegal. And I am notifying the Congressional Black Caucus and other groups. We're working with the NAACP, we're working with the Urban League to inform the federal government that if they don't have an outreach program for the Black and brown community, they are furthering the discriminatory effect and unequal effect of COVID. The death rate was double in the Black community. The death rate was 1.5 times in the brown community. Those are the facts. Because they had more underlying illnesses, because they have less health care services, and they received fewer COVID tests than the white community. So that's the second issue, discriminatory intent or effect of the vaccine program for the Black, brown, and poor communities. And the third issue, which I am sending a letter today to President-elect Joe Biden to notify him, as well as the Congressional Black Caucus and the Hispanic Caucus, and is going to be addressed to the Trump administration, is in the vaccine process as outlined by the federal government. They have said the states must sign what's called a data sharing agreement, where the states share data with the federal government as to whom they vaccinate. The data sharing agreement from the federal government specifically says the state should identify recipients using such identifiers as Social Security number, driver's license ID, or passport number. These are proxies for citizenship. The data sharing agreement also says that HHS can share this data with other federal agencies. Anybody who reads that language who knows what they're talking about, a little bell goes off and it says they're going to share it with ICE. Deja vu all over again. This is what I went through with them on the driver's license and trusted traveler program. They specify they want indices of citizenship in the vaccination program that the state would provide to HHS, and then HHS can share with anyone they want. That will dissuade the undocumented community from going near the vaccine. That will then impede the health of the undocumented community, but it will also impede the effectiveness of the entire vaccination program, because the vaccination program only works if everyone is vaccinated. You need to get up near 80% of the community for the vaccine to be effective. And if you are not reaching out to the Black community and the brown community, and then you're alienating the undocumented community, you are making it virtually impossible for this vaccine program to work. We have been speaking to HHS about this. There's no reason why you need a Social Security number. We can identify people without using indices of citizenship. There's no reason why we have to send citizenship data to HHS about a vaccine. I'm releasing a letter signed by 54 of New York's groups that work with undocumented people, immigration groups, legal groups, all protesting this. I'm sending it to the New York delegation. I'm sending it to, as I mentioned, Congressional Black Caucus, Hispanic Caucus, President-elect Joe Biden. I am confident, knowing President-elect Joe Biden and his team, that they would not stand for this, but they're not there till January 20th. And this vaccination program is all being put in place by the Trump administration. So it sounds like President-elect Biden takes over very soon, but sometimes very soon isn't soon enough, because the Trump administration is making states sign these documents now, because they're going to start distribution of the vaccine before President Biden takes office. So we are releasing that letter today. And as I said, I think it is illegal, and I think it is discriminatory, and I think it's a pattern of discriminatory acts taken by this administration and HHS.
Thanks for watching. Like, share, and subscribe. Till next time, God bless. Peace.